I'll be perfectly honest with y'all. If you like pumpkin spice anything, you're basic. But you know what? I had to dive into the whole trend and I made these pumpkin spice. Like I made this apple pie cinnamon roll bake. It's perfect for the fall. It has that nice taste of cinnamon with a hint of apple and nutmeg. Make sure you check it out. And if you want the full recipe for this, make sure you check out my new ebook launching October 23rd called The Simple Things.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Cooking with Pat Lee here, and today we'll be bringing you a recipe that's simple, easy, absolutely delicious, and perfect for the fall holiday season. I'm talking about my apple pie and pumpkin spice cinnamon roll bake. Now really quick before we dive into the video, make sure you click on that bell icon to get notified of all of my content, especially if you want to see amazing recipes like these. And of course, make sure you click on that subscribe button. Seriously, I have to be the first to admit I thought that pumpkin spice was hella overrated, and I honestly didn't get the hype behind it. But after making this apple pie and pumpkin spice cinnamon roll bake, I have to say I'm kind of a fan. I mean, what's next? I'm gonna start listening to Taylor Swift. So according to this article I read on Forbes, yes I read, Americans have a sense of nostalgia when it comes to pumpkin spice. The flavors, the aromas, they trigger memories of the holiday season, spending time with loved ones, and just an overall sense of warmth. I mean, who would have thought that something so simple could invoke so many core memories? I mean, I can understand it. I always think Christmas when it comes to hot chocolate, and I guess I can see the hype behind the pumpkin craze that happens every single year. So with that being said, let's get to cooking. Now for this recipe, you're going to want to grab 3 apples, and you can honestly use any apple that you like. Personally, I prefer the tartness of a Granny Smith apple because the pumpkin spice and cinnamon flavors are overwhelmingly sweet, and that acidity from the Granny Smith will provide a perfect balance to your dish. I'm taking these apples and peeling the skin off using a simple potato peeler, and we're gonna want to take all of it off, like leave no skin on whatsoever. And a pro tip, if you don't want your apples brown, because they will brown if you leave them out for an extended period of time, you can do one of 2 things. You can either soak them in salt water or dab some lemon juice on them. What's going to happen is that this is going to stop the oxidation process and it keeps your apples looking bright until you're ready to cook them. But enough science, let's get back to the video. So after I get all 3 of my apples fully peeled, I'm going to take each apple and slice them by the sides. If you have an apple corer, this process will be so much easier, but I couldn't find mine, so a simple sharpened knife will do. Now once you get your apples properly sliced and the cores removed, you're going to want to dice the apples into evenly shaped cubes. This will ensure that my apples cook evenly, and I can ensure that they'll have the soft consistency on the inside. I want some of your brown sugar. Yo, let me know in the comments if you think my voice is ready for the big time, or I should stick to my day job. But anyway, let's add some brown sugar to your mixture. I'm going to be adding a little bit more later in the cooking process, but I added about 1/4 of a cup to the bowl, followed by a generous pinch of salt. Now I used the plastic spatula to incorporate everything together, and this should get those flavors combined quite nicely. Now we're going to get our apples cooked to perfection, and that starts with a hex-clad pan. But now I'll go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter to the pan, and once that melts, we're going to add in our apple mixture. Now once this hits the pan, those sweet fall aromatics will hit your senses immediately. I mean, I had the entire family coming downstairs to ask what I was making, and at this point, they were genuinely surprised that I was making something with pumpkin spice because they know me too well. But I digress. Now, at this part, I added more brown sugar as I mentioned earlier, just to add just a teeny bit more sweetness to the dish, and then I finish it off with some cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice. Now this is when those flavors really start to take form. I added just a touch of lemon juice because remember, this is going to be an obnoxiously sweet dish, and that lemon juice provides balance. Now after about 5 or 7 minutes, you can remove this from the heat, and now we'll get this feature presentation rolling. Now you can use any cinnamon rolls if you want something year long, but for seasonality purposes, we're using Grand's pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls. This particular recipe calls for 3 cans of cinnamon rolls, and I fed my entire family. And just for context, that's about 6 people. So keep that in mind that this is perfect for family dinners and gatherings. We're going to open up all these cans, putting that iconic frosting to the side, and then we're going to cut up our cinnamon rolls in either halves or quarters. You can cut them up as you like, but it's essentially what you feel is the best way to get all these rolls to fit depending on the size of your pan. Now once all of your cinnamon rolls are put in place, we can begin to layer this thing. First, we're going to add that fresh layer of apples on top and around our cinnamon rolls so that everything is layered to perfection. Make sure you spread it across the entire pan so that every bite includes those sweet and delicious apples. Now the juices from those apples, just pour it all in. We don't waste any ingredients around these parts. Next, we're going to pour in some heavy cream to our mixture, as that cream will bake into those cinnamon rolls and take this dish to that next level. Now this next step is optional, but I added some chopped pecans to add a bit of texture to this dish. Now we're going to bake this first at 350 degrees for about 20 to 23 minutes just to get the ball rolling. Now after about 20 minutes or so, you're going to remove it and it's going to be slightly underdone, but that's perfectly fine. We're going to turn that heat up to 375 degrees. Now here you're going to add some maple and pumpkin pie spice butter. Surprised me too that they had this in store, but both can be found in your local grocery stores, courtesy of Land O'Lakes. Now we're just going to spread that around the pan, make sure you're getting in the insides and outsides. We're going to place that back in the oven, and you're going to want to monitor this one closely, but bake around 10 or 15 more minutes until it's cooked to perfection, looking just like this.
It gives me the vibe of fall, like warm. You get that hint of the apple. Everything is fresh. That sense, the hint of nutmeg, just takes it over the top. You definitely got to try this recipe. I take back what I said about people who like pumpkin spice.
And there you have it, my apple pie and pumpkin spice cinnamon roll bake. Till next time we feast, peace. Hey y'all, thanks for watching my video. Make sure you click on that bell icon for notifications, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you next time.